November just wrapped up, and when many of us think of November, we think of our veterans, we think of our soldiers, we think of our fallen. We remember. Legion branches across the Strait area and across Canada held Remembrance Day services even in the time of COVID-19. And these socially distant, very respectful times were mostly quiet and peaceful. But a district councillor for Richmond County brought forward concerns at the most recent council meeting that the ceremony that took place at Royal Canadian Legion Branch 150 in Arichat wasn't quite as quiet as he would have liked to see. So, both he and the municipality are going to investigate how these services can be kept quiet to honor the fallen.
I think we can all agree that this year has been a tough year for everyone. And just recently, the Remembrance Day ceremonies were affected all over our region. For me, I had the opportunity to visit the Branch 150 ceremony in Arichat. And of course, because of social distancing, there were ceremonies at the cemetery, there were ceremonies at Thibault Properties, there were ceremonies at the Legion, so everybody was spread out all over this community and all over the county. But having said that, most times a lot of people are in the parking lot at the Legion in Arichat, and while the ceremony was taking place, we had a couple of ATV riders pass during the ceremony. Had a couple of vehicles with some music on. So I found it very discouraging. And I went to talk to the Legion members afterwards, after the ceremony was over. I went to talk to them and just discuss the possibility of maybe closing the road on each side during that 15-20 minute period. Which in Arichat would be very easily done. We could send a letter to the fire department, the chief, and get him to close down the road in Cape Hogan, so people leaving Cape Hogan could venture off towards Arichat, and then also close the road off towards the I road in Arichat, Petitgrel. There's only a couple of houses there, so that would be very easily done, and it would help. And not interrupt these very important ceremonies, in my opinion, right? So, not only Arichat, I think if and where it can be done all over our county, it's something we should look into for sure, right?
Yeah, certainly the noise of traffic was a factor in St. Peter's as well, and less so in River Bourgeois, but still, yeah. Yeah,
so I mean, for me, just getting in touch with the RCMP, with firefighters, our volunteer fire department, to close the roads for 15-20 minutes so there's no interruptions to these ceremonies, I think would be a great thing to look into, right? So just want to bring that up. So hopefully we can discuss that and maybe put a policy in place in the future.
Mm-hmm. So perhaps we could ask you, Shawn, to connect with our CMP advisory board and let us know an update on that kind of going forward. So
I think the proper people that we'd have to contact would be Department of Transportation. We likely need to get permission from them as those roads are under their care and control. So perhaps staff could check into that as opposed to checking with the RCMP. I think they would, if we contacted them, I think they'd refer us to the Department of Transportation anyway. So perhaps we could instruct staff you can instruct staff to get some information on that, and we could present it to you at a future meeting.
Yeah, generally I know with parades, that kind of thing, RCMP is the contact for traffic control type of thing, and then you do need to file a permit with TIR to have that done. So we could make an addition then, and a motion to ask staff to research that information. If you'd like to do that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I'd like to put a motion forward for staff to research the possibility of closing down some of these roads during Remembrance Day ceremonies.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Could I have a seconder on that?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, so the motion is to ask staff to research with TIR on closing down roads for Remembrance Day ceremonies. Any further discussion? Question's been called, so all those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed? Motion carried. I would agree. I mean, I attended Remembrance Day ceremonies in St. Peter's and River Bourgeois, and the traffic, certainly in St. Peter's was definitely, disruptive, in terms of being able to hear and being able to participate fully in the ceremony. And River Bourgeois, there was a bit of that as well, but less traffic. So I think overall, this is just an issue of respect for our veterans, and if there's something that we can do to reduce that kind of disruption when we're having these important ceremonies, I think that's the least that we can do. So I'll be looking forward to what staff brings back from TIR and to what Councillor Samson finds out through Police Advisory Committee.